Hi guys, I'm Ken, the Boring Fisherman. I'm in the shop today, not working on the trailer. Not right now anyway. But I'm working on the Sportster. My last opportunity to have Christian help me do the forks is going to be tomorrow, which is Sunday. And I definitely wanted to not miss that opportunity to work on my Sportster with Christian. Christian builds motorcycles that get put in magazines. So I don't want to miss this opportunity. So let me show you what I got going right now. You see there's the front wheel, and I put the axle back in it for the Sportster. I'm not sure where Hester put the fender. Fender's right there. Got the caliper zip tied up to the crash bar, and I'm about to pull these forks off. As you can see, there's some pretty good pitting going on, and they look like garbage. The seals are blown out. And Hester just ran to the house to grab my other toolkit because it's got the Torx for these pinch bolts. But I'm rebuilding those forks with really just a couple of pieces of those into these new tubes and springs. And Christian has a set of nice polished lower fork legs that we're trading. He's actually going to take these nasty ones and shave them for a chopper. So we'll just kind of stay tuned on that a little bit. Hey look, Hester's back. Hi baby.
Hey.
Alright, forks are off. I would have filmed it, but I needed a second set of hands to not let these things just fall off. But yeah, you can see they're pretty shot. So anyway, there's the new tubes. It's got new springs and stuff, and we're just gonna rebuild this. I got a Drag Specialties seal and bushing kit, and he's got the new fork legs. Motorcycles look funny with no forks on them. Alright guys, I'm about to hop on this bike, and wife's gonna follow me in the pickup, taking boss's bike back to him, and we're gonna go get those forks done. This should be interesting. He's learning just how useless that first gear is now that it's re-geared. He's having too much fun. Here he comes. Don't wipe out, Buzz. I'll come help, but I'll laugh the whole time. Oh, yeah. Interest you in a chew?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Now, what am I going to have to do to these lowers for you?
Which ones?
These ones.
If you can, I'd like you to shave these ears off.
And the brake ears.
Leave
Right.
the brake ear on.
Leave the brake ear, just the fender ears.
Just the fenders.
Okay.
And you don't even have to polish it if you don't want to. I can polish it.
Well, when we talked originally, it was that I was going to do the shave and then you were going to do the polish.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. My dad says the last set that he did for you, he had something he had to weld on.
That one you're not going to have to do because the ones that he did, they had a dent in them.
Oh, okay.
So he was fixing the dent by just filling it in instead of trying to fix it on the lathe by taking too much metal away.
Okay, so I cut them off with a zip wheel, and
Yeah.
he could put them in the lathe and kind of just clean them up.
Yep, and I'll polish them.
Okay.
Might have to get these in the vise. Since we don't care about these, I can vise these up, right?
Yeah, they're going to go right in the garbage can. When we're
Perfect.
done.
Then let's vise
Well,
them
I
up.
actually have a scrap bin at home, but.
Obviously, I'm just going to break it loose up here. I don't want to get oil all over the shop.
Yeah, I'm weird about working in other people's garages too. I don't know. Actually, just got a trailer, 6x12 enclosed trailer with a ramp.
Yeah.
So push comes to shove, I couldn't move a bike in it because it is opened up. I'm gonna use it for my move to the Carolinas.
Alright, so easiest way to get the oil out of these is just take the plugs off the top. You gotta be careful because this thing will knock your teeth out if it's under enough pressure.
I know they're pretty shot. That's
Well,
why when these
it's-
came available, I was happy as shit to jump on them.
It's the springs you gotta worry about. Yeah, right there. And then you can just dump them like this. Grab the spring.
Yep.
And you can just pump it out.
Oh, the oil's not totally black.
Pull the spring out. Now that's a progressive spring.
That's a progressive spring?
Yeah, that's actually that's an upgraded spring in there.
Really?
You may consider putting that in the other one. Yeah.
Well, how do we compare it to that one?
If they're the same length, we can switch them. So progressive spring, obviously the winding gets more loose as you go down. And what that does is it,
I can get that cardboard with you, right?
yeah.
They're not the same length.
Well, is there a spacer in there? Sometimes there's a plastic spacer in the bottom of the other one. Make sure there's not. We'll compare the length of the tubes together. So these ones are shorter tubes, right? We discussed.
Longer.
Longer. And that spring should fit in there. Nope. Okay. I would say that we should run these springs in there. These are a better spring. What it's designed to do is it's looser at the top and tighter wound at the bottom. So when you go over light potholes and cracks, it's like a dampener essentially.
Okay. And that's going to be okay even in the longer tube?
If you can get the lid on, yes, absolutely.
Okay. I should be able to set this down now.
In fact, it might be better because it's weird to me that that's longer than that spring, but you have a longer tube.
So is it a longer tube?
We'll compare them when we get it apart.
Yeah. Okay. Set this up here.
So just to prevent making any more mess, because I'm not going to be able to get 100% of the oil out, I usually put these back on.
Okay. Should probably take my extra jewelry off.
The next thing we need is a flathead and a hammer. You can do it with a punch, but a flathead's easy.
Okay, I'll see what I can find here. Like a big flathead? Like that?
We're getting into that notch right there.
Okay.
Knock this cap off.
And hammer. No.
They're on the side of the box right there.
Oh.
And that's how you get your cap off. When they're old and corroded like this, though, they're gonna fight you.
Now, do you need those for the forks you're building?
Nope.
Okay. Do those go back on to these ones?
Does what this?
Yeah.
This is gonna be replaced with these.
Okay.
These serve the same purpose. These are just a dust cover. Your actual physical seal is right here.
Okay.
Then we get this out. It's going to be the same deal. Trying to get underneath this seal and pop it out. Now this is just a debris cover.
Okay.
The actual physical seal is beneath it, which is this one right here.
Right. Okay.
We don't want to pop that out just yet.
Pause that for a second.
I'm going to do the bolt here off the bottom.
We can start a fire too. If it's cold.
Get that, oh, here it is. Sometimes, especially when they're old, you gotta.
You need my hands for anything, or?
Got it. You know, when things are old and crusty, everything's easier with a vise too. I mean, we might want to just go that route.
Well, it is pretty crusty. That Sportster lived its whole life outside. Until I got it. And I've slowly been taking the rust off 5-gallon bucket at a time.
I'll put it in here since we know we're going to chop those off. I don't really care about.
Now, which bike are you going to put those on?
I am going to put them on the twisted frame that I have now.
So they're not going on Lord of War?
No. They're going to be an identical setup on the next bike after that bike.
That's tight.
It smells like kerosene.
Yeah?
I had to stop, so it's going again.
Got it. Now you got to be careful here because oil can start flowing out.
Just out of nowhere, randomly?
Well, no, it's sitting on its side, but yeah, it could start technically flowing on you. I think we got most of it out, but once that's off, everything should come free. Oh, I lied. So there's a clip in here, this guy right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get that out first.
Feel useless. I'm just doing the thing.
Kind of hard to get extra set of hands in here. And there you go. And the nice thing when you take old ones apart is you have a template how it goes back together.
Oh, perfect. Beautiful.
So you want to get this out of it.
Yep.
We don't want to take this apart any further because we've now got a template on how it goes in.
Okay.
So you can see the rounded side goes down, flat side up. But we can start putting the other one together to match off with it.
Okay.
So we're going to want to replace these because you got new ones in your set, so we can take those off. You can get it off with a pick or a flathead.
Or here.
Just try not, you just always got to be careful not to nick this because that's where your seals are going to be riding.
Okay, but it can come off that
Yeah,
end still, right?
correct.
This is fine enough to get the hole. There it is.
And you slide your nail on.
Same way?
Yep. They can go any either orientation.
Dang, that was easy. All right, we're done, right?
Then you get the other one, same thing.
Knock stuff out of that.
Yeah. And while you got that over here, I'll start preparing the other one. So you got the smaller sized seal. It's not really a seal, it's like a guide ring. And that'll stop right here on that one.
And it just rides in there?
And it just rides in there. And then double check our template. It's rounded side down, I always forget.
That's the new one.
And this guy goes back in there. We've got two.
Look, did I use the wrong one? Why is that loose?
No, that's normal.
Okay.
It'll shrink once it squeezes in there.
Do that here too?
No, take the bottom one off.
Bottom?
And put this one in. I think the black one goes on top. That.
The bottom one gets the white one. Are these directional?
No.
Okay. And the black one will go on the top. I'm doing this the same way. And that's this piece. Just like that.
Yep. When you start putting stuff back together, it's not a bad idea. Get some on your fingers and move everybody up.
Okay.
So the slides look nice.
Several knuckles deep.
And it's going to be a fairly tight fit with new seals. Sometimes you can just, if it doesn't want to go down on its own.
It goes this direction.
Yep. Sometimes you gotta like try to help it in. It's not self-centering. What I did was I stuck an Allen up there.
Yeah, I can get this one with my fingers.
Perfect.
The Sportster's going to have progressive springs. That's cool. All right. And you said this one?
Yep, so that slides just down. It's not directional. So
Probably. Get my boy the mitts all over this thing.
and then it'll be the washer round side down.
Down like that.
Yep.
Okay. There's the seal.
Then what we can do is we can load these guys in. Now sometimes there's a cup and we might have to get out of here, and it's there. We need this guy out of both of them, so we'll have to take the other one apart, but basically this one is reused and it slides over like this. We can take the other one apart and do the other one on camera.
Okay.
But once you get that on, slide that one in. And you know, it's all new seals, so sometimes it wants to fight you. And if it does, like this one is, just get some oil on it. Like you said, it seems kind of like a loose fit. You kind of got to lubricate it so it walks itself in.
Okay. Now it's going to line back up in that cup.
Yep.
How many of these have you done?
3 now. But this one is, what I'm going to do here is this one's kind of popping back open on me.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to give it some memory.
What are they made of?
I have no idea. I think they're copper. That's better. Drop that piece out. There's a piece inside there. You always want to. These things will always fall off, so it's always best to try to go in sideways like this.
What about your...
And yeah, those stuff fell on the ground. I'll put them back on. I just want to make sure that this guy. Okay, it's going in. It's back.
You said that one went around side down.
Yep. Down is in towards the axle.
You stay lined up.
And if everything stayed lined up, you should be able to get the new bolt and your new lock washer in there. This one has a round side and a flat side. I honestly couldn't tell you which way it's supposed to go. I always go flat side towards because that's what it's sealing. But I'm sure some professional Harley guy will tell me I'm wrong, but I've never had one leak doing it
Can't
that
tell
way.
by the old one because it's been smashed.
And then you get started. I'm not even going to torque or worry about tightening this down yet. I like to do it with an impact because we don't want to put this in the vise and scratch it all up. Impact's going to get you, as long as you're not using some high horsepower, air power deal, but an electric one will work just fine for that.
Okay. Does boss have one of those?
What?
Electric impact.
Yes. Small one.
Okay, perfect.
What size you need on it?
It's like a 6mm metric.
6mm 12 point?
Allen.
Oh,
The
Allen.
long
reach.
one. I couldn't find it. So once you get that in, the first thing we got to do is drive that upper ring. I'm talking about this one right here. Using the washer. This is your fork seal driver. We're going to drive it down. I just let gravity do the work. Sometimes you can... You'll know it's all the way down because you'll hear the sound change. Hear that sound change?
Did.
Yeah. And then these seals have a side that has lettering on it. The lettering faces up towards you.
This side has lettering. That side doesn't.
And then I'm going to lubricate these guys. Get it started with your fingers. Then get your seal driver again. This one's not going to give you a sound change, but you're going to see a lip show itself. And you'll know you're down all the way because you can put your new retaining clip in there.
Okay.
And you heard it pop in,
I did. I heard it click.
and you're in. Then we'll take the upper seal cover. So this is actually, you could run your bike like this. So these chrome covers you asked about, and these boots here, this is all decorative. These are decorative. This is actually your final seal right here.
Okay. And it just pushes in by hand?
Nope, but you want to kind of get it started by hand because you don't want it to walk on you. And just make sure the lips are in. And it's the same thing. And you're in. And all there's left to do is add oil, springs and an oil.
Cool.
We still got to torque this. We don't want to forget.
Which end goes first?
The tighter wound side with progressive springs.
Okay. And then after that,
It's going to be the cap right here. I left them on top of it.
okay.
And then we also have new O-rings for those too. So we can change those from hold this real quick.
Yep. That is a lot of spring. I don't understand why these springs are longer than the ones that came in the longer tubes. Must just be for the preload.
That or somebody went to the longer tubes and used a set of old ones that are for stock length.
Could be. Chopper stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen some crazy shit that people have done that went down the road and you're like, I don't know how you're alive.
Again.
Before we go any further, we have to add oil to it. Now, I recommend you do this at home on the bike. The main reason is I'm going to make a huge mess. If you've got the bike on the lift, and
Well, it's on blocks.
anyways, the triple tree. Once you get this in the triple tree, everything is secured, and it's going to be a lot easier to get this on without making a huge mess.
Okay.
And you'll be able to. See, these are the correct length springs. But you know what? Actually, let's just seal them here. But we'll just use 2 sets of hands. We got enough people here. With one guy, I recommend you don't continue without a second set of hands unless it's
Okay.
in the bike, because you saw how much force it took for me to do that. Now there is a lot of people who are sticklers for how much oil you're supposed to put in these things. It gets kind of weird with +2 over and all this other shit. I don't measure cup nothing. I fill it up to the threads. Right to the bottom of the threads.
Okay. And there should be enough oil here for that, right?
Yes.
Do we want to put that in with an impact first?
Yes, before we do that.
Okay.
And that's why I keep reminding so somebody, because I'll forget.
I don't know if Boz ever rounded that up.
What are
Boz,
we doing?
you got a 6mm long Allen? No, it's just like doing oil on your car. You just need to get it tight enough that you're not going to strip nothing.
Okay. And you think that felt good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're just crushing the copper at that point. Boz, you got a funnel?
This one right here.
Right there.
That looks clean.
That's good.
Kind of a pain in the ass with the spring, so you just got to make sure you're upright, so that way it's pissing and falling where it's supposed to.
That oil looks totally different than the stuff that came out of it.
I got an idea.
There we go. Too much. That's okay. So, good thing you bought 2 jugs.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Gonna try and put some back?
Yeah. Don't waste it. And I'm just going to have it filled to the bottom of the threads. That way we know it's all the way up. That's perfect.
Okay.
So, you want to make sure your fork tube is fully extended all the way up. That way I don't have to squeeze down as far. And it's going to have to be 2 guys manhandling it. The threads are fine thread too, so sometimes it's just a motherfucker to find the threads and try to get it just right.
Okay.
You just have to. Hope you catch it. And of course be careful, because if you don't catch it and you think you have it, it's going to come flying out and hit you in the teeth.
I don't have many of them left, so.
There you go. We got it. This thing's under so much spring tension. You never really have to go crazy with how tight you get this thing. But I would just go back when you get it into the triple trees and you got something to hold it
Okay.
in a vice situation, and just give it another snug turn.
All right.
And our new boots. Slide those on.
Put your arm right in the way.
And there you go.
That's gonna look fantastic. Now I can see if I can push on it, right?
Yep.
Oh.
It should be difficult once you get on once the weight of the bike is going.
That should be great. Those old ones you could almost compress all the way by hands. I'm sure that's probably the oil.
It's a combination of the oil, new seals,
Look at it.
progressive springs.
It even says Harley Davidson on it. All right. Fling this apart. Stand it up with this empty can. That'll work.
Fucking awesome. Am I allowed to hit something?
Yeah, probably better go forward and try to back up again. I'm sending that video to our chat group. goes out?
There it is.
So you just push it
You just
down?
push it down and it goes.
Oh, that's all?
You push it down, but to go back, you gotta push it down and then forward.
Down and forward. Okay.
Or it might have been down and back.
It looked like it went forward. I can't tell though.
Road glide with reverse. Whoa.
Down and back. So it's down and back just to get out.
Okay.
I gotta get reverse for my bike now.
It really wasn't that god awful expensive. It's like I think he paid. Do you remember what he paid for that?
It was a lot.
Was it?
Like $79 million probably.
It was like $3 grand
Oh, I thought it was like 900.
with labor. It was like three. I think he said it was like $2,800 or some shit like that with labor.
Oh.
Because
That's out of my price range.
well, you got to basically rebuild the transmission to do it.
Well, shit, we've done that.
You got the
We've
jerry
done it.
stand down?
I'm not scared of it, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying the labor that's involved is probably. What do they charge? $130
And then on
an hour.
an M8, we've never fucked with one of those.
Well, we know what that's good for. What are you looking for, Buzz?
I'm looking for my my other tool roll that's got my set of Torx in it.
Haven't seen it.
It's a canvas one.
Canvas?
Yeah, it's really dandy.
Might help to have the part before you start the grinder, right?
Yeah, but I also had to make sure that the grinder was even in here, working.
We got that extension cord out here too, Christian. You can use.
Okay.
And there's also the one here with the light.
I'm looking for vice grips right now.
Vice grips are in that drawer. Yeah. There's
As much as I like to test my grip strength.
I don't know. I don't know what the
You already tested your grip strength on those forks earlier.
Now, you gotta look
The
at
ones
this,
covered in
kid.
oil that I couldn't grip.
Yeah, those ones.
Kid, you gotta look at this tool. Oh shoot! All that work and I didn't put the screwdriver in.
That's one of them 6-in-1s, ain't it?
Yeah, which is handy for a tool belt. But I want to show you when it's all done because this thing is really old. It's just so cool. This was Gary Heyman's Haymanator. Mr. Chopper Builder Heyman.
Haven't seen Gary in a while. Where's he at these days?
He's in Arizona right now. They'll be coming back the end of April, 1st of May.
Cool.
Yeah. They had fun though.
I'll believe it.
So then you just roll this puppy up. This is what I had on the front of my shovel head. It's got conchos and stuff. It's wore in. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've got a Willie and Max bag about that size I was thinking of putting together with my tools. That is cool.
Badass. These are the zip ties that I used to use. I cut them off. But yeah, that's how I had it strapped on the front of my shovel head.
Perfect.
Badass.
You need to strap it to the front of your Slim.
You gotta figure out where to put it.
Right on the front forks.
I was thinking it might look cool on that sissy bar.
Yeah, your custom sissy bar with ball bearings on the top. That thing is cool. Christian built that, right?
Yeah.
I should have him do one for my bike sometime when we're down there in Daytona together next year.
There you go. It's all scrap material. That's what makes it cool.
Hester's back.
it.